if you're a child and are not up here yet, come on up. Grab some carpet. Let me see if I can figure out. Okay, I'll see you in a few minutes. Oh. What do I have in my hand? No, not a water bottle. It's water. What's this water for? Do you know? I'll give you a hint. Well, what do you think it is?
To drink.
To drink. Nope. What?
To take a bath.
To take a bath with? No. I'm pretty big. I need more than this. The whole surface area issue. What part?
For God.
For God? Nice try. The answer is always Jesus or God. Usually it's by the end. This is my tears bottle. My tears bottle. You ever had you have a tears bottle? No. This bottle reminds me of all the times I cry. I'll give you a hint. You ever cry? Do you like crying? No? You ever? I made a list of times when I cry, and I want you to raise your hand if you cry at the same time, because I think crying is an important thing to remember. It's okay to cry. When I was a kid, boys were not really supposed to cry, and my dad and mom wondered if I was a boy because I cried a lot. Right? I cried at movies. I cried when I was happy. I cried when I was sad. I cry a lot. I lose it. I just can't keep it together. It's okay for anybody to cry. Boy, girl, man, woman, it's okay. And that's one of the things it took me a long time to learn. But here's my list of times that I cry. Raise your hand if this makes you cry. Raise your hand if you've ever fallen down and hurt yourself so badly that you cried. See? Okay. Raise your hand if you've ever been so sad about something that you cried. Speaking of that, raise your hand if the team you wanted to win March Madness got killed last night. Talk about sadness. Raise your hand if somebody once hurt your feelings and you cried. Okay, all right. Raise your hand if you were listening to a song or watching a TV show that was so moving that you cried. Right? Okay. Raise your hand if you ever cried because somebody else was crying. And it made you kind of sad and you decided to cry with them. Or maybe you didn't even decide to, it just started happening. Okay, now raise your hand if you were ever laughing so hard that you cried. You know, when the milk comes out of your nose, that whole thing? Does it ever happen to you?
Yes.
Oh, it does happen to me sometimes. Okay. The Bible tells us that Jesus cried. He cried when he prayed for others. The book of Hebrews tells us about that. And in our story today, Jesus cries when two of his closest friends are terribly, terribly sad. Mary and Martha are so sad because their brother Lazarus has died. And when Jesus sees them crying, he cries. And that, by the way, is the shortest verse in the Bible. Take a look. You can impress your friends later with that little nugget. Jesus wept or began to cry. It's okay to cry because when we cry, what are we doing? What's happening?
Feeling bad for others.
We're feeling bad sometimes, that's right. Or sometimes we're feeling good or feeling emotional. We're feeling, right? You ever feel the feels? Yeah, that's right. It just means you're letting yourself be a human being. And that's okay. That's important. And Jesus is a human being like us. And he's also God. He's like us and he's like God. And he feels our feels, our sadness and our happiness. And like he did with Lazarus, he can help us get through all that we're feeling to a new and a better day. So it's okay to feel, it's okay to cry. It's okay, right? And it's okay to be happy. And when you see somebody else crying, you can help them. Give them a hug and tell them you're their friend, okay? You ready to repeat after me in a prayer? Who's ready? All right. If you feel like crying, go ahead. Like some folks might a few minutes from now. All right? Let's pray. Dear God, thank you for tears.
Thank you for tears.
Because they're about our feels.
They're about our feels.
And you feel.
You feel.
And we feel.
And we feel.
Together.
Together.
That's how we know.
That's how we know.
You love us.
You love us.
And we love you too.
We love you too.
Amen. Great job, kids. Thank you. Go to Sunday school now.